will be discussing about what is a function, what is the variable arguments in a function, what is meant by the inline function, and we will be also going through some examples. Then the number of experiment which needs to be done as a part of the function is going to be 18. Okay, so similarly other things are also being mentioned here. Okay, I will not go through each of these itself. Now let's come across with the pattern. So here we are making something called as the experiments pattern. Anyone can talk about what this diagram is being depicting about? What this diagram is being depicting about?
Experiments. The number of experiments per lab.
The number of experiments per lab, isn't it? Okay, so that we have understood. Anyone would like to comment about the shape of the graph?
So the experiments become tougher each time.
Anyone would like to comment about the shape of the curve? I can draw a curve which can be linear like this. I can draw something like this, or I can draw something like this, or we can draw a slope line, I mean a straight line. Why it is being zigzag in nature? Girl side, one of you please answer. Girl side, one of you please answer.
There are different number of experiments.
That understood. I ask you, right? Comment about the shape. This shape, why the shape has been come here? I mean, comment about the shape of the curve. Why it is being 20? Why it has been come down 80? Then sudden there is a fall to 8. Then again there is a spike of 11. So comment about the shape of the curve. Do you like this or no? That is what is the first thing.
Sir, it means that the number of assignments in lab 1 is more. It is decreasing day by day.
It is decreasing day by day?
No, sir, it's not decreasing day by day, it's zigzag.
Sir, sometimes it increases.
Do you know our heartbeat shape?
Sir, it is the stock market of declining business.
Absolutely, stock market also. Sometimes it will climb up, sometimes it will climb down. Isn't it? Then again there will be a climb up, then climb down. This is what is our heart rate also, right? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Why we have taken this zigzag manner? Initially we have started off with the higher number, then again it has been gone into the zigzag manner. Why is it so? We could also draw a straight line, right? This straight line. Why it has been done like this?
So because the experiments are fluctuating day by day, sir, or lab by lab, sir. That's why, sir. It is not regular, sir.
Okay, a question to the girl side. Why we have started off with 20 here? Any girl can comment about it. Why we have started at 20? Why then it has 18? Then why there is a downfall with the number 8? You are forcing me to call out the numbers, right? Roll number 235.
Yes, sir.
Switch on your camera.
Yes, sir.
I cannot see you. I mean, okay, very good. I can see you now. Why it has started at 20, then secondly it is 18, then there is a drop at 8. Why is it so?
Sir, I don't know.
You don't know? Very good. Who is your best friend in this class among the girls?
Sir, there is no one.
Okay, there is no great friend. Who is your friend in the class?
So some of our section present here. Previous section.
I asked you a question, who is your friend? Did I ask you who is in the section and the other things? You call out any girl student to whom you know.
Sir, sir, I don't know about others.
You don't know about what?
Others.
Others. Do you have that sheet with you? The Excel sheet where the group composite, the group number has been with you?
No, sir.
Okay, I am showing this to you. It is visible now? The Excel is being visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, pick up any girl student name. If there is a need to scroll, let me know, I can scroll it.
So Debolina Rai.
देवबोलिना राय इसी एग्जिस्ट कहाँ पे है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, देवबोलिना राय. Roll number 5960. Switch on your camera.
Yes, sir.
I cannot see you.
Sir, I have turned on.
So hold on, it may take some time. Okay. The question you are clear?
Yes, sir, I've heard.
The question is clear or not?
Yes, sir.
So answer to it.
Sir, I think you have given 20 at the very beginning so that we get habituated with the programs.
Very good. So we need to be habituated with the programs. So the C programming, which you might have studied in first semester.
Yes, sir.
So that means in the second semester, you completely gone out of touch.
Yes, sir.
That means again we need to bring it back to the space where we need to do a hands-on onto the coding. That is why the 20 number of questions are being given. Clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
is this clear to everyone? You may switch off your camera now.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So that is the reason for which the 20 number of questions are being given. Then again it has been dropped. 18 questions are being given in the lab number 2. Then lab number 3 only 8 questions. Then there is a upward downward that has been happened here. Okay. Any questions on this? Any questions on this? On this experiment patterns? Any
Sir,
question on experiment pattern?
Sir, I had a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, do we have to submit all the programs in the day itself, in the lab itself?
Okay. Now let's decide it. How often you would like to submit it? I am rather asking you a question. How often you would like to submit the lab record? On the next week, next week,
On the next class, eventually this will be offline.
Next lab class.
Next lab class.
Before
next lab class. That means there will be a
After 1 week, sir.
So that means you are telling that you are going to submit it in the next lab. That means every weekday, sorry, I mean alternative week we need to submit, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Every alternative week.
Every week, no?
Okay, so every week we need to submit, isn't it? So my proposal is to do it in a bi-weekly fashion. Bi-weekly. What is bi-weekly? When this lab is, yes, after two weeks, isn't it? After 2 weeks,
Sir, sometime it may be late because of mid-sem or.
Sir,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Sir, we have to do it in copy, or we can means take the screenshot of the program in the laptop, then submit in Google
That
Classroom.
we will decide. First, we are deciding the period of submission. Are you all okay with the bi-weekly submission? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Girl side, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bi-weekly submission. The next question is being coming up, that how would you like to submit? Isn't it? Now there are two ways we can do it. Either we are going to write it down on a piece of paper, or we are going to present the code, which is going to be the reflection from your IDE. Which one you will like to go ahead with?
Reflection of the ID.
Reflection from IDE. If it is going to be the reflection from IDE, how can I ensure the uniqueness in the solution? So eventually what will happen, one or two in your class will develop the program, and then it will be circulated with everyone. Isn't it? Circulated with everyone. That means we will not have any effort. Only 2 or 3 students may put some effort, then rest of the student will not do anything. How am I supposed to tackle it?
Sir, half we will write, half we will submit.
Very good. Half you will write and half you will submit it. Is this clear to everyone? Is this okay with everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That means the 50% of the program has to be handwritten. Then the another 50% or can be directly reflection from the IDE.
Sir, can we use any copy to write it, or do we have to buy a lab record binding?
No, nothing. So you are going to submit a soft copy.
Okay.
Hard copy will not accept. I will not accept the hard copy. It's going to be the soft copy. So wherever you write, it does not make any sense to us. Okay?
Yes,
because ultimately we are going to look at the soft copy only. It is not necessary that you need to write up in a A4 sheet or so. It is not required.
Okay, sir.
So, sir, that means we have to make a PDF file and then send it.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, second thing, the 50% of the program which 2 or 3 people will develop, then it will be also circulated with your friends. How can we address this problem?
Sir, writing our name and roll number on the
Sir,
top
we are
of the
not
page.
circulating.
You are not circulating. Do you know once upon a time I was also a student? Did I ask a wrong question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Okay. How do you ensure that the remaining 50% is going to be uniqueness?
So we will write our name and roll number on it.
You will write a roll number, right? One may easily, modify the roll name and the roll number. In the program which you have written, you will write Control F. Isn't it? Roll number you put and replace it with another roll number. Then again the Control F, find it out what is the name, replace with a different name. How long will it take? Not even a minute. Isn't it? It's not going to take a minute, right? So tell me other possible ways.
So we can add a roll number in the variables. We are adding.
Very good. You can add a roll number into your variables. Okay. Very good.
That is very. Sir, while typing, it's very hectic. Every time you have to use it so much.
In such a cases, you submit everything in the hard copy then. If the typing is being difficult for you, then you type, then you submit everything in the handwritten.
Sir, I'll submit it. Sir, then those who don't want to write the roll numbers, can they just give hard copy? Write it.
What is the other alternative? I'm still asking, seeking out for an answer to the remaining 50% of the solution. How can we maintain a uniqueness into this? Okay, so here is my proposal. Okay, so the last digit, the last 4 digit of your roll number, it should be postfix with 3 things. It should be postfix with the class name, it should be postfix with the user defined function, and it also should be postfix with the variable name. Make sense?
Sir, every
Can we
variable.
write everything?
Every variable.
Sir, could you repeat the
So can we repeat? Can we write whole program on pen paper?
So the point what I am trying to tell is that the remaining 50% of the program, the first 50% you are going to come across with a pen and paper, which you will be submitting as a handwritten one, that we will be converting to the PDF, and that is what is the process is being there. For the remaining 50%, which is going to be the reflection from the IDE, for that I am proposing 3 things, or proposing rather a thing. All the variable name should be postfix with the last 4 digit of the roll number. Is it clear what this means? Is this clear what this means?
So can you show an example?
Yes, sir, exactly.
Example.
Yes, sir.
So let's call, this is a student called as Gupta Aniska. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Sir, Anshika.
Ansika, sorry, my apology. Ansika, am I correct pronouncing your name correctly now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the last 4 digit of your roll number, Ansika?
1134.
1134. So this is 1134. What I did, I just simply copied it. Then this is what has been given here. So let's call, I'm going to write some programs here.
Sir, instead can we write everything in a hard copy and give?
Yes, sir.
So it's very difficult to keep track of variables
Yes, sir.
which have weird names. Then the same
Can we
program
write it
takes
all?
way longer.
Yes, sir.
So we'll write 100% of it.
Yes, sir. Adding roll number to every variable will be hectic.
So this is what I was trying to tell. So let's call display underscore this thing has to come. This is, so the last 4 digit is being associated with the user defined function. Then the last 4 digit is being associated with the variable name. Then it is also has to be captured, called as a class name. Make sense? Is it
Sir.
clear?
Sir, actually,
Can we, sir, write the full program?
Can you go with hard copy, please?
Sir, please, the
100%
whole
will
thing
write in
hard
the
copy
training
we
chapter,
will do
sir.
instead.
sir, because sir, it will be tough.
Very difficult, sir, it will be.
Okay, you all are being aiming for the hard copy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I increase the program,
Sir, it's okay.
Sir,
if
it's
I
okay.
increase the program, so currently it is 20. The second one, it is 18. If I increase to, let's call 30, what will happen?
Sir, we'll write 20.
You will write.
No, sir.
Oh, sir, please, sir. Don't do it.
Sir, it will make 30 on 20.
So in such a case, what needs to be done?
And so it will take more time for us to write.
Absolutely, it will take more time. If I am going to increase the number of questions, it will take more time.
Sir,
Yes,
but
sir.
adding roll number to variables would also take more time.
It will also, it is going to also take more time.
It will also create confusions.
It will create confusion. It will not create any confusion. Your senior batch, your senior
Sir,
who
it
are
will
being
create-
currently third year. Okay. So you are pointing that you will be writing everything. Your senior told that the moment I have given them this proposal, he told them that this is okay. So they told that everything will be the reflection from IDE. Okay, so we need to come down to a win-win situation. We need to have a blend of these two. So propose me what's going to be the solution. Yes, propose me. We need to have the two things. The blend of these two things should be there in your lab record. So propose me how it can be achieved.
So we'll do 50-50.
Well said. Propose something.
So the blend, yes, the 50-50 was better, I think.
Girl side, please propose.
Sir, in the first sem, our teacher made us do this roll number post fixing, and it is very difficult to keep track of sum underscore 895 versus just the variable sum. So I would prefer writing it 100% over doing roll number.
Okay, that's your opinion. Okay, my opinion is that it has to be a blend of two. Okay, answer with the blend of two. Answer with a blend of two.
Sir, we will try the blend of two, otherwise we will go for the writing part. If we are not able to do that.
We are deciding now.
Sir, we will do the 50-50, sir. 50% of the codes will do on the ID with the roll number, and other 50% with normal variable and on the paper.
Sir, we will decide, give some time. Sir.
Yes, sir, we can decide upon it.
Okay.
We have 2 weeks
to make you happy. Okay, just to make you happy, what can be done? 80% do it on pen paper. Will it be a problem?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
20%, the one which we talked of now. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
So let's call 20 programs has been given. So how many of them you will be handwrite or you will be writing on a 16. Piece of paper?
16.
16. How many of you will be the direct reflection from IDE?
4.
4. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Doable?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Girl side, doable?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Big yes or only a yes? Is it a big yes or only a yes?
Only yes, sir.
Only.
Why the big why it is being missing here? Why the big is being missing in yes? That means you are not comfortable. Am I correct? Yes or no?
Sir, we are.
You are, I know that you are being very much cooperative. I am talking about the girl side. The girls, tell me whether it is convenient or not.
Sir, convenient. Yes, sir, convenient.
So is it a big yes or only yes?
Big yes.
Sir, big yes.
Big yes? Okay, that means we have taken up a decision now that for the lab record, 80% has to be handwritten and the 20% has to be the reflection from IDE. Make sense? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
very
sir.
good. Now, coming to the next part of it, the input and the output, it has to be handwritten or it has to be the reflection from IDE.
reflection from ID would be better.
Reflex from the
Yes,
ID
sir.
will be better
Yes.
for the input and also output, right?
Yes, sir.
Girl side, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, very good. So the first line which is always going to be printed on the output is going to be your name and roll number. Okay. We also need to maintain some uniqueness into the output sniff. So the first printf or the cout statement should be your name and roll number. Okay, that means in the output which you are going to add it immediately after the program, it should be your roll number and name followed by the input and output what you have given. Is this making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is this making sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's call this is if there are any deviation, what will happen? For any deviation, what will happen? So let's call one student. Let's call Ansika. Okay, so let's call Ansika use the code of 1253. शायद का कोड उसने यूज किया है. What will happen to Ansika then? Ansika, tell me what will happen to you?
I will get 0 marks.
You will get
0 marks.
not 0. You will get a big 0.
Deduct 1 mark.
No deduction. Okay, no deduction. You will get a big 0. Okay. Okay. One more thing I need to tell you. Do you know the passing mark in lab? All of you know the passing mark in the lab? No or don't know?
No, sir.
What mark I need to, someone needs to secure by which it will not reflect as a backlog? Is it 10, is it 5 or is it 15 or is it 20? What mark need to get?
Sir, we don't know, sir.
You don't know. So, the minimum mark in the lab component has to be 50. Is it clear? That means a student who is being getting a mark which is being less than 50, that means what grade he or she will get? What grade he will get? He or she will get?
F.
What F stands for?
Fail.
Fail. For you, what is F stands for? It is not fail, it is finished. Okay, so it is being treated as a finished grade. So don't try to put yourself into finished grade. Make sense? Make sense or not? So what is the minimum mark that you will be going for?
100.
100, very good. What is the minimum mark one should be going for? Keeping apart the student who told 100 mark.
Greater than 90.
Greater than 90. So you should aim for at least 80 to 90. Isn't it? So being a student from the computer science, I want on an average the class has to get a grade of E. Okay, and one should cross the hurdle of 50. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is 80% and the 20% that we agreed upon. Okay, then the grading, this is what we discussed, or do we need to again skip it? Do we need any discussion on this, the grading?
No, sir.
Is it okay with everyone? Girl side, is it okay with everyone?
Yes, sir.
Which emoji you like most?
The smiling one.
The smiling one? Very good. Okay, then comes to academic honesty. The first one we already discussed. What is the second one? What the second point is trying to convey?
So no attendance.
No attendance.
To late comers.
Late
So define
comers.
late here. Would define late here.
5 minutes plus minus.
5 minutes. So in the next class, I'll be taking the attendance exactly at 12:05. Okay, those who missed out, okay, their attendance will not be considered.
Sir, in offline, so because I come like from Devoder, so traffic, don't know. Because of that, if
So we have a theory class. Okay, immediately
Yes,
after the theory class, there is a lab class. The steps which we will count to walk to the classroom, to the lab class, the same steps I will also take. You will not run like PT Usha, or I will not work. I will not walk like a lizard. Okay.
Yes,
the
sir.
same pace both of us will walk up to the lab room. Okay. So when the classes will happen offline, we will see. But at this point of time, if anybody who is been joining more than 5 minutes late, no attendance will be given. Make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming to the next one. Deduction of 50% of the score in case of late submission of lab record. Do we need to justify this or not required?
Not required.
Okay, because the flexibility of bi-weekly submission has already been given to you. Okay. Fourth point, any unfair activity or academic misconduct will result into serious consequences. I hope all of you being matured enough to understand the meaning of serious consequences. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So do not do any unfair activity or any academic misconduct. Is the point number 4 is clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Now coming to fifth number. No repetition of written test / viva / end-term exam, etc. What this means? If on a specific day it was being announced that a quiz or a written viva will happen, if a student is unable to attend it, I will not reconduct it anymore.
Sir, but if someone misses it due to any health issues, then also it will not be
You
considered.
need to intimate the faculty member in advance. Okay, the exceptional cases will always be there. Okay? The way you are being a human being, in the similar fashion, I am also a human being. So for a human being, the exceptional cases are always going to be there. Okay, these exceptional cases has to be brought up to my attention before. Okay, is this been clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, going to the next one. Destructive behavior during examination / classes will result into serious consequences. I do not have to define what is destructive behavior. All of you know what is destructive behavior. isn't it? Destructive behavior, all of you know what it is. Girls side, do you all of you know or don't know? No response, as always. So is this point need any further discussion?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Adherence to academic honesty policy. Okay, so academic honesty policy means you should not be involved into any cheating exercises. Okay, I do not want you to come up with a detail on this, but as a student, I hope all of you know what is meant by the academic honesty. Okay, so no further discussion on this unless until you want any further discussion on this. Okay, next one. Allowing others to copy your work will result into serious consequences. What I will do is, do you know there is something called as a plagiarism? And are you heard about this? What is meant by plagiarism?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, as a part of the plagiarism, what I will do is, so you will be uploading the PDF document. So that I randomly will choose any PDF document of number more than 2. So I will send it across to our library. I'll be requesting them to check and let me know what percentage of similarity index exists in between those lab records. Do you know what is similarity index? Do you know what is similarity index? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, similarity index means how much of the statement are matching with respect to multiple documents. So for an example, suppose I have written in the first document you have written, hi, how are you? In the second document I have written, hi, how are you? So the similarity index between this document is going to be 100%. In the first document, say let's call, I have written, hi, I am doing good. In the second statement, you have written, hi, I am doing well. Then the similarity index is going to differ in only one word. Okay? It is not going to be treated as 100%, but at least it will be less than 100%. Okay? So I do not have any benchmark number with me, but I will try to ensure that none of the copies will have a similarity index of 100%. Make sense?
Yes,
Make
sir.
sense or not?
Yes, sir.
The similarity index should not be 100%. Okay? That means what is the expected level? What is the expected level? The similarity index. We cannot say that it should be 10% or 20% because the code will be remain same. The main function what you have written in one document, the same main function also will be written into the second document. That we cannot change, and also it will be injustice to say that there is a repetition has been happened or the similarity exists, isn't it?
70-80%.
70-80%. Okay, so let me. I cannot able to decide a number now. You submit your first lab record. I will gauge it. I will measure it by sending it to our library and to take a number that what similarity exists in between those records. So based on that, we will come back. We will be coming up with a benchmark number. Make sense? Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I making your life tough? Am I making your life tough? Yes or no? Okay, that means no answer means I will take it up in a positive way. That means I am not taking your life. I mean, you know, I am not killing you then. Very good. Thanks for the compliment. The last one, patching together by copying and pasting from different sources. Do you understand what this means? Do you understand what this means, or do I need to explain?
No, sir, it's clear.
It's clear? So you should avoid this. Okay. So at any circumstances, you need to avoid this. So this is what has been mentioned here. Always adhere correct way to do something. Never ever involved into any wrongdoing practices. Okay, that's all. That's all from the first one. We'll move on to the second one, where we need to start our journey into object-oriented programming world. So till we move there, any questions? Any questions? Anshika, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Abdul, do you have any question? The time now, let me take the attendance. You can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have one question.
Let me take the attendance, then you can shoot. Okay, so let me take the attendance, then you can shoot your questions. So every question from you is, I will treat it as a bullet nowadays. Okay, roll number 101. Absent. 1026.
Yes, sir.
1058. 1111.
Present, sir.
1134.
Present, sir.
1119. 1206.
Present, sir.
Bit louder.
Present, sir.
Okay. 1235. 1246.
Present, sir.
1253.
Present, sir.
1268. 1315.
Present, sir.
248.
Present, sir.
1397.
Present, sir.
Okay. 1399.
Present, sir.
1427.
Yes, sir.
1434.
Present, sir.
1467.
Present, sir.
148.
Present, sir.
1539.
Present, sir. Present, sir. 159.
1603.
Present, sir.
165.
Present, sir.
1663.
Present, sir.
1673.
Present, sir.
168.
Present, sir. 168.
1883.
Present, sir.
1885.
Present, sir.
1910.
Present, sir.
1939.
Present, sir.
1985. 2005.
Present, sir.
205.
Present, sir.
207.
Present, sir.
2072.
Present, sir.
110.
Present, sir.
129.
Present, sir.
213.
Present, sir.
187.
Again, sir.
253.
Present, sir.
227. 2270.
Present, sir.
229.
Present, sir.
460.
Present, sir.
516. 532.
Present, sir.
540.
Present, sir.
680.
Present, sir.
700.
Present, sir.
865.
Attending, sir.
932.
Present.
294.
Present, sir.
318.
Present, sir.
320.
Present, sir.
469.
Yes, sir.
353.
Present, sir.
479.
Present, sir.
491.
Present, sir.
567.
Yes, sir.
575.
Yes, sir.
651.
Present, sir.
660.
Present, sir.
678. 798.
Present, sir.
809.
Present, sir.
811.
Present, sir.
814. 815.
Present, sir.
817.
Present, sir.
825.
Present, sir.
832. 853.
Present, sir.
895.
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
936.
Sir, roll number 849. Present, sir.
Where is 849? I do not see here.
Sir, above, sir. Yes, Rai.
936.
Present, sir.
Okay, 939.
Present, sir.
957.
Present, sir.
959.
Present, sir.
960.
Present, sir.
992.
Present, sir.
Okay. Done.
Sir,
Sir,
sir 101. Oh, sir, 5101. Present, sir.
Why you didn't respond?
I was caught in some work again by my mother, sir.
What happened?
I was caught in some work given by my mother.
Okay, after the class, both of you, you call up your mom.
Sir. So 95%.
Okay. The last time I'm again telling you, as I told before, while taking the attendance, if somebody is not responding to me, he or she is absent.
Sir, I have given in the chat box when you have called my name.
Okay. So in case if you are having a audio problem, you pass it on to one of your friend so that he or she can tell that he or she is having a audio problem, but she is actually present. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One by one, tell me whose roll number I missed out.
So 1985.
1985. Where it will come? 1985. This one goes. Okay.
Sir,
Done.
here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Roll number 814.
8.
Sir, it's in the past.
1268.
Again, tell me the roll number.
227.
8, sir.
The one by one.
Sir, 1268.
पूरा नंबर बताओ. 1268. Where it? 1268.
Sir, 210 51268.
Okay, done.
Sir, 227.
2239.
227.
Roshan, this one.
Yes, sir.
Rohan Narayan.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
done.
Sir, 2105814.
814.
Yes, sir.
Where it is? 814.
Yes, sir. There are missing column, sir. Priyesh Rai.
Okay, done.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, then what we will do? We'll jump into the first one. Okay, we'll jump into the first one. So essentially, we'll be going through some of the concept. So from the next lab onwards, we'll split the 2 hours of time into 3 buckets. Okay, the first bucket, which is going to be of 45 minutes. So in the first bucket, 45 minutes, we will be discussing within the class. Okay, whatever background is being required or the technical exposure is being required to develop the solution for the experiments, that we will discuss it within the first 45 minutes of our class. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the next 45 minutes. So you will be given this time to develop the solution for the experiment which is being given. Is this also clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The remaining 30 minutes. So the remaining 30 minutes, the evaluation will be done by the technical assistants. Okay, that is why component 1, 45 minutes, which I will take to give you the technical exposure by which the experiment, the solution for the experiment has to be developed. The next 45 minutes is going to be used by the students to develop the solution. Then the remaining 30 minutes will be used by our technical assistant for the evaluation of the program which you have done. So is the time management has been clear to everyone? Is the time management of 45, 45, 30 is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When the evaluation will happen, the technical assistants will not call you. Rather, it is your responsibility to call up the technical assistants or to reach out to them and get your program evaluation done. In the mail which I have sent it across yesterday, I have bucketed into 2 categories. This roll number to this roll number will go to which technical assistant. Then from this roll number to the another roll number will go to which technical assistant. I hope all of you are aware of it.
Yes, sir.
Their contact numbers, their email ID has already been given.
Yes,
Isn't it? They are also being a part of our lab WhatsApp group. Okay, yesterday I have added both of them. Okay, so both of them are also being a part of our common WhatsApp group, which is being specifically designed for the smooth operation of the object-oriented programming lab. So in the last 30 minutes, so possibly they may share you a URL or maybe a Google Drive or maybe any other one in which they will do the evaluation of their own. Make sense? So every lab there are 3 marks are being attached to it. In every lab, what is the first component? Whatever program that you have written, that program you need to demonstrate with them. So this is what is being called as a program execution. I will be sharing you the mark file in the coming lab. With them we will be detailing on what is the mark file is all about and what are the typical component which is being part of the mark file. That I will explain you in the coming lab. So but for each lab there are 2 marks for the program execution and 1 mark for the class participation. The way I am asking the questions or the way they will ask you the questions, that is what is also going to carry a single mark. So if any student is missing a lab, he or she will eventually lose out 3 marks. So is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
then
sir.
What is the minimum attendance one need to maintain? What is the minimum attendance?
75%. 75, sir.
75%. That means 35% you will miss out. So with the 30, how much mark you are going to lose? With the
0.
35%, huh?
Sir, no marks.
So let's call we are conducting 11 number of classes. So let's call you are attending 80% of the classes. The remaining 20% one will miss. How much mark one is going to reduce, which is going to lose by not attending 20% of the class? 6.
1 marks.
6 marks, right? 2 mark is for the program execution and 1 mark is for the class participation. So 3 marks one is going to lose out. That means if any student is missing out a single lab, 3 mark is being gone. Okay. If you are missing 2 classes, 6 mark is being gone. If you are missing 3 classes, 9 mark is gone. Eventually, you will be not entitled to get a grade of O if anybody is being missing out 3 classes. Okay. Now, considering this, what is the minimum attendance one need to maintain in the lab?
75%.
Okay, that means you are made up a mind that I need to lose out 30%. 9 marks with me. Okay, very good.
100%.
100%?
Yes.
The right answer is 100%. Is it clear? So in the lab, the minimum attendance a student needs to maintain is 100%. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Again, I am asking a question. Am I making your life tough?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Definitely.
Then start
Yes,
living in a tough world. Okay. Then start living in a tough world. Because very soon you may join into organization like Amazon or maybe Microsoft. Okay. So their work is being very tough. So start living in the tough world so that you will get yourself acquainted into those worlds. Okay. Any questions before we jump into this? One student has raised the one question, right? Any questions?
Sir, I wanted to just say that due to some reason in the first semester I joined very late, and after that I was not able to cope up with C. So if you can go with little bit basics, so that many more students can.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are pressing on the button of basics, right?
Right, sir.
Okay, so we will be going through the basic in C++. Okay,
This
so
was
I
like
will
the
not.
first few classes. It was like kind of shock. I mean, it was not a shock because it is already taught, but it is our fault that we have not coped up with that. So
I understand that. You know, the reason why I have asked such question is to judge myself. Okay, I am going to judge myself that what is your depth in the C. Okay, based on this, I need to cope up my classes. Okay, it was not judging you. Okay, it was judging to myself. In what pace or in what sense I need to deliver in my classes so that students should feel comfortable on them. Okay, those questions are being specifically asked to you to get a feeling on how good are you in C. Okay, nothing more than that. But on the C++ perspective, we will be going from the basics.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, make sense? So did I answer your question? The question.
thank you, sir.
Okay. So in this case, what we will do first? So in the first lab, so there are these things has to be covered up. So we will first come to know what is C++. Then we will be writing of a hello world program. Then some examples on I/O, that is the input and also with the output. Then we will be demonstrating some arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and also with the modulus one. Then we will be just talk about the two example pertaining to the arrays. The first we will discuss what is meant by the one-dimensional array, and the second we will be discussing something called as the two-dimensional array. A very basic program is being given here, so that we will also come to know on while we are going to jumping into this. Okay, any questions till this point of time?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Let's call it. Whatever, this is what is being, some bookish knowledge has been given here. So all of us know what is meant by C, isn't it? All of us know what is meant by the C. So from that perspective, C++ is nothing but a superset of C. That means what it is trying to say is that, so even though if you have written up a program in C, so in a C++ environment, it is also going to work. So that means it will still be treated as a legal C++ program itself. There are some differences are being there itself. Okay, the first difference, the C++ is being treated as a statically type. That means my type checking is being primarily done into the compile time over the runtime environment. That means what? So in the first semester you have studied something called as a compiler and what is meant by the interpreter. Have you discussed? This is what has been covered up on the very basic. So from that perspective, the C++ is being considered as a compiler. The way we have understood that C is being a compiler, in the similar fashion, C++ is also being a compiler. That means whatever checking exercise that needs to be done, or rather type checking exercise needs to be done, so those such type checking is being primarily done during the compile time in comparison to the runtime in case of a interpreter. Is it being clear what I said? Now for an example, suppose you have written as include some header file, then you have written integer main, then bracket, then open bracket, curly bracket. If by mistake, if you have written instead of main, if you have written main1, then it will be detected during the compile time, not during the runtime. So is this example is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is a general purpose, it is a case sensitive, it is being a free form programming language which is going to support both procedural and the object oriented and also being the generic programming. So when I'll be taking your theory class, so there is a first unit will be primarily covered what is procedure oriented programming, what is object oriented programming, and what is being generic programming. Okay, we'll discuss theoretical aspect which we'll discuss in the theory class. So it is just to let you know that in C, which is support only the procedural oriented one. That means you will come across with the functions, then the function, the main function eventually will call up another function. That means it will, the task is going to be done by with the involvement of the function. That is what, or we rather we call it as the procedure. That is why C is being treated as a procedural oriented language. In comparison to that, C++ is being called as a object oriented language. That means when we are going to write a C program, we need to first define a class. Then when the class has been defined, then we need to create an object of that specific class. Then using the object of the specific classes, we need to invoke the methods. Okay, we will discuss on what is meant by the class and the other things with the in the third or in the fourth lab itself. Okay, this is just a introductory knowledge transfer to get you acquainted with the C++1. Okay, then the C++ was being developed by the from the lab, I forgot, Bell Labs. The C++ was being developed by in the Bell Labs. So which were being, the intention was to add the concept of class into C. So the concept of class was being added up into C. That is what is being the intention for which the C++ was being developed. And later at 1983, so the C class has been renamed to C++ itself. Okay, so this is what it is about the C++. So right now what we will do, we will try to make our hands dirty by writing of any specific program itself. So we are going to demonstrate you on how to a hello world program itself. So when a C program has to be written, so the first header file which needs to be included is being called as stdio.h, isn't it? So the stdio.h is the header file which needs to be included in the C file, because this stdio.h is having the declaration of the printf and also with the scanf function. Okay, in the similar fashion, so when we are going to write or need to develop a C++ program, in the manner in which we were supposed to include the stdio.h, in this case also we need to include something called as IOStream. IOStream stands for input output stream, and stream is nothing but a sequence of bytes. Okay, so in your first semester you might have studied to convert a octal number, hexadecimal number, or a other number format into a binary form. So the binary is going to be in the form of 1 and 0. So the sequence of 1 and 0 is being primarily called as a streams. Okay, so essentially the IO stream is nothing but a header file which is going to have the definition of some of the operator, which operator is going to be used for taking input from the keyboard and also flushing out some values or flushing out some information onto the screen. So is this point is being clear to everyone? The first one with the incorporation of hash include IOStream. Is this clear to everyone? And remember, the C++ does not mandate to have a .h extension. Some of the compiler may need a .h extension, but it is not mandatory in C++ environment. So whenever it detects that there is a hash include is being mentioned, the C++ compiler automatically append the .h extension to that. Then it automatically becomes a header file onto this. Is it clear?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the next statement. The next statement, it is telling that there is a something which is being called as using namespace std. Okay. Now let's understand it from a practical scenario. So you all will be coming to KIT campus on August. Okay. Now when you will be coming here on August and there is a object oriented lab, what you will do? So you have to come to a specific campus. So we do have 3 campuses in computer science nowadays. Campus 14, campus 15 with A and B. So again then, once you identify the campus, then you need to identify that which floor I need to go or which block I need to go. Either if it is going to be campus A, campus 15, then you may need to go to either block A or in blocks B. In campus 14, we do not have any concept of block. So that is why it is being called as a common block. Then once you identify the block, then we will find out where is the lab room number, in which floor it is being located. Then you need to figure it out on the which floor, whether it is on the ground floor or on the first floor, second floor, so and so forth. Now once you identify the floor number, you need to look upon for the classroom itself or the lab room itself. isn't it? So these are the information which you need, by which you will be able to trace it out that where the physical classes are going to happen. Okay, now coming to this. So when the C++ language or the C++ compiler, it detects a statement called as using namespace entity, that means it instructs the compiler to use a namespace called as the std. That means for the lab, so let's call your lab is going to happen in AW01. So that means you are being instructed by our school authority that your lab is going to be conducted in the room number AW01, which is located in campus 15, block A, first floor, and this is what is being the room there. So that means we are giving you a specific contextual information on which you will not having any troubles in identifying the specific room itself. So you think of from that perspective. So a namespace is being nothing but a something which has been recently added up into the C++ program itself. So it will tell you that on which namespace what all function, what all operator, or what all other things which has been defined. There may be chances that, so let's call in your third semester, there may be students with having the common name. Then how the common name student will be able to figure it out that they need to go to the different room in order to attend the object oriented programming lab. So that is why, so they are being given a unique roll number. From the unique roll number, they will be able to detect it out under which class they have been enrolled into and who is being the assigned faculty. In the similar fashion, the functions or the operators are also being defined with the specific namespaces itself, so that it will make them distinguishable. So the distinct function or the distinct programming entities of the program will go into the different namespace. Again, the namespace we will define it we will discuss it at a later point of time itself. Is this also clear? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the third thing, integer main, which we already aware of. In C, the entry point into your program is going to be the main function. In the similar fashion, the entry point into the C++ program is also being a main function itself. So that is why, so we need to have a main function here itself. Then what is the next one? The next one is that in C, we used to write printf, then something here. But here in this case, we are going to write C out, then the operator which needs to be used here. So for the time being, you assume that the replica of the printf function which we have studied in C, that is what has been replaced with C out, then the output operator. Okay, then there is going to be a return 0 statement which will tell to the operating system that my program has successfully terminated, so that the operating system should not be watching the program to figure it out whether it has been successfully terminated or unsuccessfully terminated. So is this clear on the syntax, I mean the flow of a C++ program? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So now let's run this. So what we intend that the C++ program has to be written using G++ compiler. So you all are being given something called as a Linux operating system. So whenever you need to develop any program, you need to ensure that those programs are being written in the Linux environment itself. That is why we strongly advocate to install the G++ compiler onto your Linux environment. And I was been talking to our ICT team to figure it out whether the compiler is being available with them. So they have clearly told me that by default this is what has been given to them. Okay, so a virtual machine which is being called as a Linux operating system which has been given to the student itself. So that is why you will be able to develop the code, then compile the code, then run the code using G++ compiler. So here is the instruction which has been given here. So to compile a program, so you need to write G++, then whichever file name that code has been captured, you need to suffice that. Then to run the program, the way we used to run it in C by writing ./a.out in the similar fashion, you also need to run the program with a ./a.out itself. Okay, so till this point it is clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So now what I will do is I am going to run this program. So I do not have a Linux operating system installed on my machine. Okay. So what I will do is I am going to take the help of a online C++ editor. Okay. So a online C++ compiler, I am going to take a help of it to just to demonstrate you the code here. It's being called as the we have written here the same program which I have copied it over here. So what we are trying to do, so we are just trying to run it over here. So when we run it, what is the message that it has been displayed?
Hello world.
Hello world. So if some message need to be changed here, so let's call, suppose I wanted to intend to welcome each of you to the object oriented world. So what I will write, so let's call welcome CSE okay, then again I'm going to run it. Then what will happen? It will say that the welcome CSE03 students to object oriented world itself. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a similar fashion we need to write down the program. So again then what we will do, we will just write down a simple IO program. So what this IO program is trying to do, it is just what it is trying to do, it is just multiplying it by 2. So in this case what we have done, we have taken off a integer 1. We have taken off a integer 1, then we are asking please enter a integer value, then whatever value that has been entered there, then it is just going to flush out that your value and its double is. This is what it is going to do. So I'm going to run this. So when we run this, so let's call, I'm going to number something called as a 15 here. Then it will say the value you entered is 15 and its double is being called as the 30 here. Is it clear? A very simple example in C++ on how to do it. Am I clear? Is the program is being what you have written? It is being clear to one? Okay, so this is a very simple example on IO here. So in this case, what we have done, so the cout which has been written, it is being a replica of the printf statement which you have discussed in C. In the similar fashion, the scanf function which you have studied in C, the replica of it is being called as a cin operator. So the cin is nothing but it is expected to read the input from the keyboard itself here itself. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will go into the another program itself. So what this program is trying to tell, it is just going to demonstrate you the arithmetic operation. So what are the typical arithmetic operation? So we are taking the input from the user with the two values called as I and J. Then we are just performing some of the operations over here, like the increment operation, then the the subtraction operator, or maybe the multiplication and also with the division and then the remainder one itself. Okay, then we will just run it here something like this. Then what it is trying to tell? What it is? So it is giving one error here. So again it has been come across with the error is something here, because this is the one has been not properly done here. So we will just copy and paste it, this kind of a course here. Now let's see whether the roll number 12, from the roll number 12 it has been gone or not. Okay, it has been gone from this here. Then we will see at the 13 line. So 13 line there was a error there. So that is why we have done it. So since I have copied it directly from there, that is why it has been come across. Okay. Then again it is being talking about on the line number 14. Look, see, I mean the character are unable to recognize this. So that is why I am just giving a meaningful character to it, because this is what I have copied it from the Microsoft PowerPoint. That is why it is being coming up. Okay, so and please enter the first integer value. So I have written something called as 20 here. Then the second one which I am going to write something called as the 10 here. Then you will see that what is the value that has been come across. So you can see the 12 plus 10 which has been come to 30 here. So how can we make a difference? So to make a difference, which we can do something called as a /n here. Okay, so that it will be printed onto a new line. So are you all of you are getting what I am trying to do?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here we do not need it. So let me run it up again. So let's call this is 20 and then the second value it is being called as the 10 here. Then you will see that we have done 20 plus 10 which has come to 30, 20 minus 10 it has come to 10, then 20 into 10 it becomes 200, 20 divided by 10 it is being come as 2, then to 20 percentage of 10 which is being coming as the 0 here. Okay, so is this also clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's also a very simple program which you have done it in C itself. Okay, then what you will do is we are going to do some one-dimensional array program itself. So what, as a part of the 1D array, what we are going to do? So we are going to create a fixed array of size 5. Then we are reading from it. Then whatever value that we are being create, so we will just flush it out into the console here itself. Okay. So in this case, what we have done, or rather what we need to do. So this is what we will do it. So if anything is not clear, you please let me know. Okay. So what has been done? We have created an array of size 5. then this is a local variable which we have created. Then we are just going through the each of the element, then we are just trying to enter the values into the array. Then finally what are we doing? Finally what are we doing? Whatever values that have been entered here, that is what we are just flushing it out. So is the program what has been written is clear to everyone? The purpose of the program is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Now
I
let
have a
me.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, will the size of the array be mentioned in the question? Like
This is no. So this program is only for the demonstration. Okay, this program is only for the demonstration. Actually, this code should not be written like this. So eventually what we need to do, you need to define here something called as then some number. Then instead you use the variable called as n and something over here. Am I clear?
yes, sir.
Okay. So this is only just to demonstrate you that how an array can be read through and how the content of the array can be printed. Okay. Now let me run through it again.
Sir, I did not understand that define.
It is in C. Define means is what? You are trying to create a constant and that needs to be used throughout the program. Okay, this was there in the C. What is being called a macro, something which we call it, right? Those who have been know what is the hash defined, this is what is being something called as a macro. Okay, again, if you do not know, we will study at a later point of time in the OOP world.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now what has been done? Right now we are printing the value. So let's call the first element which I have entered is 10. Second element is 20, third element is 30, fourth one is 40, then the fifth one is 50. This is what we have done. Then what we are trying to show, whatever values that has been entered here, that is what is being getting printed out over here itself. So if we have to make any distinction here, then we need to do something like this. Then this will be a spaces here. So what spaces? So let's call this is 10, 20, 30, 40, then 50. You will see that the spaces has been come across here. So is it clear? Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now a small exercise on write a program to find the sum of the numbers stored in an array. Okay. There is a class work has been there. Write a program to find the sum of the numbers stored in the array. So to find the sum, what we need to do? We need to write sum equal to 0. That is what we need to decide. That is what we need to define. Then what needs to be done here? So this
Sir, y sum equals to 0.
Y sum equal to 0. Otherwise, if you do not initialize it, then the garbage will come. The garbage value will come, right? If you do not initialize something, a garbage value will come. So that is why we need to ensure that the variable which is being initialized to 0. Okay. So in this case, what we need to do? We need to write this is what needs to be done. Is this clear? What I have written, is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now we will run this. We will run this. Let's run it now. So when we will run it, then the first element which I have given 10, second element 20, third element 30, fourth element 40, then the last element which I have given 50. Then the sum it is being telling that 150 because it is 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50 which has been come across to 150 itself. Okay. So is this also clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we will do is, so this is what is being a demonstration in a one dimensional array. Then subsequently what we need to do, we also need to demonstrate with a two-dimensional array. Okay, so in a two-dimensional array, so for the two-dimensional array, so let me take something like this. Then what needs to be done here? Isn't it? So this is what I can do. Am I clear what you have written? Is this clear what you have written?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then what we need to do, we also need to get it printed that off. To print that off, what we need to do, we just need to say cout. Cout,
Sir,
what we,
Sir,
yes.
so that AI should be AIJ.
Okay, so here in this case, what we need to do, the same thing which we need to do, need to be done here. Am I clear? Is it clear? Is it clear what code we have written here? So we have just translated one-dimensional array into a two-dimensional array. So for the two-dimensional array, we all need the two loops. So that is why we have taken I and j over here itself. So is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's give some spaces here. Then we will write count. So that it will print on the next line. Okay, now we will run this. We will run this. So we are done with the program. Then we will run this. Then let's call the first element which I have given 10. The second element which I have given 20. The third element is being 30. Then the fourth one is being given 40. Then you can see 10, 20 and the 30, 40. These are the numbers which have been stored in a two-dimensional array. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is what is the next example. So in the next slide, you will see that this is a two-dimensional array which has been given over here. Now we need to do a class exercise. Write the sum of the numbers stored in the array. The way we have done it into the one-dimensional array, in the similar fashion, we also need to do for the two-dimensional array. So then we'll also make it the sum equal to 0. Then in this case, what we will do? So
AIAJ plus.
We need to say that this is what has to be done here. Then what we do? So we do not need this because we need to do the computation here. So in this case, what we need to do? We just need to do sum plus equal to nothing but is called as a of I of j here. Make sense? Is this making sense?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
we will
sir.
run this. Let's run this. Now it is being asking 10. The first element which I have given called as the 10 here. The second element is being 20. Then the third element is being 30. Then the fourth element which I have given called as the 40 here. Then we just need to add it up. Then it will becomes to 100. Is it clear? The example which you have written right now, is this being clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The girl side, is it clear?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
It's clear to everyone? So I have consumed 1 hour and 40 minutes of your time. Okay. So how many programs you would like to do in another 20 minutes? How many programs you would like to do in 20 minutes? No answer. Roll number 939.
Yes, sir.
Roll number 939.
Yes, sir.
How many programs you can do in another 20 minutes?
Sir, it depends. 5 or
5 programs you can do?
yes, sir. It depends on the programs.
Okay, these are the 2 programs. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
So these are the 2 programs, and these are the 2 programs. So 2 program each from 1D and 2D array. Then from the lab exercise, you do the question number 5. So if 5 questions you are solving in 20 minutes, all of your friends are going to get 3 out of 3. If you are not completing in 20 minutes, all of them are going to get 0 out of 3. Would you accept this challenge?
No, sir.
Why?
So, because what if it's wrong and then all of them will get 0?
You can seek help from them, right? Apply your brain. Did I told you that you need to do all of by own?
No, sir.
So you distribute it among themselves. One has to do a question, second has to do that question, third has to do question, fourth has to do that question. You just need to consolidate and need to present it to me.
Okay, sir.
Still, would you like to accept the challenge or not? That
No,
means
but,
you don't have.
I would like someone else to join me.
So someone else will also get a campus on behalf of you. Is that going to be accepted?
So what?
If someone else is going to get a job on behalf of you, would you accept it?
No, sir.
You will not accept it, right?
Right.
You will be working out of KIT University with a placement,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? Think of that scenario. So accept the challenge.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you distribute among them. If all the 5 programs are being developed in another 20 minutes, all of those who are being present in the class, they are getting 3 out of 3.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Good luck. So rest of the student, please help her out. And remember, no hard coding. You will be reading the data from the row number, column number has to be read.
Sir, please do the 2D array questions.
This one I have already circulated you, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, good luck to each of you. Do I need to stop my screen sharing? Can I?